Oh, hey, besties. Guess who's back with another totally necessary update? Yup, it's me, your favorite movie nerd at Holy Holly Talks. But hold up, this isn't just your run of the mill, let's drag one movie update out for 10 minutes kind of video. Nope, today we're hitting you with not one, not two, but three movie updates. Yeah, three. Because why waste your time with a single sentence about the next sequel no one asked for when we can just cover it all in one go? Now, I might actually make separate videos for these updates, but only if more juicy details come out. Because let's be real, I'm not about that. Let me stretch this to hit the 10-minute mark life. You don't want me rambling about the prequels and reboots and then throw you a one-liner at the end like, oh yeah, the new Predator movie exists. I mean, I love a good rant, but we gotta draw the line somewhere, right? Oh, and don't be surprised if I chop these updates into some YouTube shorts too, because apparently we all have the attention span of a goldfish now. Gotta keep up with the times, am I right? So, what's on the menu today? We've got updates on the new Predator movie, yep, another one, Nosferatu, for my horror fans, and, wait for it, Tom Holland and Christopher Nolan teaming up for a mystery project. Yep, Spiderman and Mr. I don't explain my endings are joining forces. It's bound to be a ride. Before we dive in, just a little nudge to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon. I mean, if you don't, how else are you going to know when I drop more movie updates? All right, buckle up because we're diving into our first update, Nosferatu. Yeah, I have no idea why I'm starting with this one either, but here we are. So, in case you've been living under a rock or just not stalking horror movie updates, there's a Nosferatu remake coming. Yep, the OG vampire's making a comeback. The movie's already wrapped up and is slated to release on December 25th, 2024. Merry Christmas. Here's a blood-sucking vampire. Of course, let's not get too comfortable, because movie release dates are about as reliable as my Wi-Fi during a storm. But hey, for now, it's Christmas 2024. Now, why am I actually excited for this? Two words, Robert Eggers. If you know, you know. This guy is the king of historical horror, and he's at the helm of this remake. The dude gave us The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman. If you've seen any of those, then you already get why my hopes are through the roof. And as you'd expect, Eggers isn't straying from his historical lane. Nosferatu is going to be set in 19th century Germany, featuring our favorite ancient Transylvanian vampire who's got some serious stalker energy. Think Joe Goldberg from You, but make it undead and way more sinister. Recently, we even got a sneak peek of the movie, which you're seeing on screen right now. If this doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. Personally, I've been waiting for this one for ages. There's just something about cozying up in a freezing theater, watching a horror flick during those long winter nights. Am I weird? Maybe. But this movie dropping on Christmas? It's basically a gift for horror fans. So if you're skipping the holiday rom-coms this year and want something a little more terrifying, Nosferatu is calling your name. And don't worry, I'll have a review locked and loaded for you, so stay tuned for that. All right, since we're already neck-deep in horror vibes and vampires, let's talk about the latest wild rumor. Christopher Nolan's new movie starring none other than Matt Damon and Tom Holland. Yep, you heard that right. Apparently, Mr. I Make You Question Reality Nolan is dipping his toes into the horror pool for the first time. And if I'm not mistaken, this might actually be Nolan's first true horror film. Unless, of course, you count his crime thrillers, which can be horrifying, just not in the boo kind of way. But get this, Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man, could also be doing his first horror flick. Meanwhile, Matt Damon. Okay, Matt's been in a ton of stuff, but horror? Not really. Unless there's some forgotten Matt Damon screamfest I missed. If so, feel free to roast me in the comments. Now here's where things get juicy. Rumor has it, according to Gizmodo, that this mysterious Nolan movie might be a vampire film set in the 1920s. Yeah, I know, vampires. But before you start picturing Tom Holland with fangs, let's pump the brakes. Apparently, this whole vampire thing might just be a Hollywood whisper with no real legs to stand on. Insiders are hearing it, sure, but a lot of them are also calling it fake news. So yeah, could be true, could be total nonsense. We're basically in throw darts at a rumor board territory here. However, What does seem to be legit is that this movie is set in the past. Multiple sources back that up. And it's almost definitely a horror movie, with most insiders agreeing on that. But vampires? Not so much. Let's just say the chances of this being a blood-sucking affair are pretty slim for now. But hey, we'll have to wait and see once more details slip through the cracks. One thing we do know for sure is that Universal Pictures has slapped a release date on this thing, July 17th, 2026. Yep, mark your calendars for 2.5 years from now. So while we twiddle our thumbs for what feels like forever, we can at least hype ourselves up over the fact that Nolan not only directed it, but wrote the script too. Which means we're getting his pure, unfiltered vision. And considering how Nolan's mind works, this horror flick could go from ooh, spooky, to wait, what just happened to my brain in a heartbeat. But yeah, horror is a tricky genre. Things can get weird real fast. Still, I've got high hopes for Nolan's take on it. For now, all we can do is wait and maybe speculate wildly. Alright, let's move on to one of my all-time favorite franchises, the one, the only Predator. I don't care how many Predator movies they throw at us, I'm watching every single one. I mean, they could make Predator versus teddy bears, and I'd still be there with popcorn in hand. That said, 2018's The Predator? Oof. I mean, I enjoyed it, sure, but it hit some serious cringe levels. Actually, scratch that. Cringe feels like a soft word here. Let's just say it took what we love about the Predator franchise, threw it in a blender, and served us a strange sci-fi smoothie topped with that ridiculous Iron Man Predator suit. Don't even get me started on that thing. If I start talking about it, the only thing coming out of my mouth will be pure acid, xenomorph style. So yeah, let's just move on. Thankfully, Predator redeemed itself in 2022 with Prey, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. That movie had everything we love about the franchise: action, suspense, a badass lead, and actual stakes. Honestly, I'd go as far as saying it saved the franchise. So when I heard about the new Predator Badlands, I was hyped. Initially, people thought it was going to be a sequel to Prey, but now, word on the street is it's more of a standalone movie, kind of like Alien Romulus. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. I love a good standalone story that doesn't try to mess with established timelines, especially when the franchise could use a bit more depth in terms of plot, not just we hunt to become better hunters. Seriously, that's been the tagline for every movie so far, and I think we could all use a bit more meat on the bones. But hey, that's a rant for another time. Now, according to a casting call, Predator Badlands is being described as a groundbreaking film, which, okay, everyone says that, with one of the storylines focusing on two very different sisters. Intrigued yet? Their bond gets tested to the max as they pursue completely different paths and missions. So yeah, we've got Thea, who's the geeky, science-loving sister, and Tessa, who's intense, serious, and all about family goals. You know the type. The one who could probably complete a mission with laser focus while her sibling is just excited to be out of the lab. Of course, some details might change. Names, plot points, you know the drill. But as it stands, the movie is slated for release on November 7th, 2025. Yep, we've got a bit of a wait. The one thing keeping my hopes sky high, though? Dan Trachtenberg is back to direct this one too. And if he can bring even half of the magic he brought to Prey, we're in for a treat. So yeah, not a ton of info yet, but as more details drop, you know I'll keep you posted. All right, my lovely people, that wraps up our little journey through horror updates today. We've got a Nosferatu remake on the way, with Robert Eggers ready to spook us all, Christopher Nolan possibly making his first ever horror movie with vampires, or maybe not, we'll see. And of course, Predator Badlands gearing up to hit theaters, hopefully bringing more of that Prey-level greatness. So plenty to look forward to. And as always, I'll be keeping my ear to the ground and eyes peeled for more updates. And if you're like me and already mentally camping out for these releases, you won't want to miss any future breakdowns or reviews. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and let's keep the horror hype train rolling. Until next time, stay spooky, stay fabulous, and I'll catch you in the next one.